Hey YouTube, just thought I'd do a quick video. I just got these in the mail today. I'm changing out my 1/8 scale switch, which is the digital one. I got on the X-ray. This is my X-ray, the digital. It's running on a LiPo pack, but I just thought I'd change it out. I'm a bit over this, pushing these. The buttons always, it comes on. Light, everything works still, but it's got a cover on there. It keeps coming off. I keep losing it. I've gone through a few of them, but they're really good. But I just think I'm just going to change it, something different. Going to get one of these. These are cheaper than buying the digital ones. These are around 25 bucks each. Where these, I got these for 15 bucks. You've seen them before. They've got the straight out plug in, unplug, so you shouldn't have any problems with leaving your batteries on, which I've done in this car. I have accidentally thought I've pushed the button down to turn it off, put the car away, and then come back to it and realised I've left it on, which means with the LiPo, you just stuffed the battery. Went to dog shit, so I had to throw it out, go and buy a new battery, and that really pissed me off. Like, I'm really sick of doing that, and it's my fault, but even still, it should be something we don't really have to worry about. It should have a time set where it goes off. That's just my thought, but I'm gonna take that off on this buggy and on my other truggy I've got, and go to this. I think this is what everyone else is using. You know, they're nice and tight. They won't fall out. You plug in, plug out. Obviously, if you're an idiot and you lose that, yeah, you're pretty stuffed. But I do have more of them. I can make them up. But I just thought I'd show you anyway. I got these for 15 bucks. You know, I was going to make my own, and I thought, oh, 15 bucks. Some other noob can do it. That's fine by me. And it comes all packaged. I bought two of them, so it's 30 bucks. And then I was watching Nitro Todd the other day, and he's talking about the clutches for the on-roads. And I've got a few on-roads now. I've got 3 now, and the clutches are absolute little bitches. So if you don't get this screw, the nut you have on the tension spring sets the actual tightness of the spring unloading. And I have the calipers now for I use that for setting it off the thrust bearing to get the 4.5, 0.5, 0.4 or 0.6. Depends what one you're running, where they sit. That's just for the end where the thrust bearing is. But I got this for the digital calipers because if you have that, get off your bitch. If you have that, this nut that you lock down, it actually does have to be a certain depth. And usually, like, as you can see in the end here, there's a little piece that goes in there. And that, when you push that down, see it goes up to 1.3. Most of them are set at 1.2, so around there, 1.2. So you've got to have that little, when you tie it down, for the thrust, the actual clutch shoes to grab on, push the whole piece forward on that spring. You've got to have it tensioned down right. Whereas it just goes ape shit, you know, and you end up screwing those rubbers, everything on 1/8 scale, 1/10 scale on road clutches seems to be ridiculously freaking overpriced. So you don't want to lose any of these parts just from not having it tension right. These things, I got one of these. A mate of mine, we got 2 of them at the same time. Brought them off a guy that was getting out of it, so it was a bit cheaper, but I still reckon they're worth their weight in gold. They're exact. You get no you know what you're doing. You got to. I'm just a firm believer. If you're going to play with this shit, you might as well do it properly. Guessing and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's cool. I know. If you're good at guessing, guess the freaking lotto numbers. If not, freaking use one of those things. Just try it. So there you go. They're worth, you know, online you can pick them up. And these, $33. That's what I paid at my local hobby store for a hoodie. You know, I tried making one out of an end of a tool, and it was all right, but it was scuffing the actual clutch nut. And just show you here. I think I've got one here. See, that's the little. Oh no, that's the little one. This one here. See, they come in all shapes and forms, but they will fit straight into that. I know it's a bit hard seeing it through the bag, but I'm just trying to show you. It goes in like that, and you tighten it up, and it's piss easy, you know. It's basic, but if you don't have the tool, I tell you what, try and do it with your hands. I don't care if you've got gorilla hands or what, but they're freaking hard. They are absolutely hard, and they do your freaking head in. So I got sick of doing it, trying to make a tool up. $33, all done. So I just thought I'd let you know, it's always like that when you get tools that are good. Things, you know, makes the hobby cheap. It makes the hobby a lot more enjoyable when you do have the right stuff. And I know everyone can't afford that, you know. I don't knock anyone. I've watched Hagrid and have watched him do all his how to fix things up, but it drives me bloody nuts, you know. If you're gonna have these things, like, they're worth money. You know, these motors, you know, they're worth money, and if you don't have the right tools to use them, you strip a backing plate on a nitro motor. You strip the screw. You know, it's hell to pay. You know, it drives you freaking nuts. So sometimes it's best to pay for the money, get the right tools. I always use the MIP. You know, I've got MIP in both. I do have other tools, but I don't like using them on my good motors. If you're running ready to run stuff, yeah, okay, that's cool. No big whopper, but little things like this, I'm just trying to show you. I'm not telling you what to do. This is my opinion after me I've been doing this for years, and I started out with cheap shit, and yeah, it's cool, but you spend more money trying to fix shit instead of just buying the decent thing. And that's a fact with this hobby. I don't care what anyone says. You can put an old clutch bell on that's bent and out of shape, and it'll run. Yeah, it'll run. But you know what? It's going to cost you more money in the long run. You're gonna be spitting chips for all the time out. You know, and I got a family. I don't got time to muck around trying to fix little things. I'd rather do it properly once, go out and spend more time ripping, less time sitting there changing shit. So just thought I'd give a bit of a let you know what I'm about anyway. It's totally different for everyone else. I don't care. It's whatever you're into, but this is just me. Some things, like, I brought these online. These were 35 bucks. I got two of these for $71 delivered. You know, it took the dim sim a fair bit of time to get it packed up and actually sent to me, but they come from China. No big deal. Always cautious of shit that comes from there. You never know how long it's going to last. I put these in. They're pretty solid. I'm actually pretty surprised. But for 71 bucks, you know, am I wasting my time? Should I have just gone and spent the money? Probably. So there's little things where I do make time to not spend so much money and go little shortcuts. But I think when you're doing this hobby, even as a basher, you know, that's all I do is bashing. You gotta put the effort into actually achieving something that you actually like, because you can buy stuff that's cheap and nasty. The frustration comes out, and that's what a lot of people get put off from the hobby, because they think, oh yeah, it's cheap, you know, I'll just do this, it's cheap, you know. It's crap. You end up ruining stuff, breaking stuff, and stuff doesn't work, you know, and it makes it really hard to be enjoyable. And and anyone else is watching you or is there when you're doing it, they go, I don't want to fucking do that. That's too bloody hard. You know, that looks like bloody drama, you know. I've had friends that have looked at this and went, oh, I'm not doing it. It's too noisy. It's too hard. It's not too hard. It's just you got to learn how to do it, you know. Take your time. You know, watch YouTube. There's a lot of smart people out there. There's, you know, that's how you learn. You know, so I just thought I'd let you know. I was watching Tasty B yesterday. Great bloke, great stuff. Always information is unreal. I was texting him saying the same thing. I'm a big believer of bearings, secondhand motors. If you get secondhand motors, don't even run them. Pull them apart, clean them. Pack of bearings. This is what I get in Australia. This is the company I buy off. They got a bearing for everything, mate. You can get one for your grandma's wheelchair. You know, they have bearings left, right, and center, fishing reels, whatever you want to. These guys are the best. For me personally, I got a 10-pack of these bastards. These are the 7x9 by 6. I got a 10-pack for $20.90. Yeah, they're a hybrid. They're steel and ceramic mixed. How good? Good enough for what we do. Well, I'm not racing, but I like my engines to run good. If they're not running good, for $2, I take this out and I throw it in the bin. You know, that's the way this hobby is. You got to have the tools to do this. If you're gonna try and exceed in it or try and have fun with it, you can't be using the motor that comes with the bearings and you go, oh yeah, no, that's all right, that's cool. You know, I got bearings here that I've got from motors that I've, you know, acquired over the years, and I always keep the bearings for shits and giggles just to see what different ones are around. But look at these that I've pulled out of motors. Look, these are had it. You know, I just don't trust any motor I get. I just don't trust the bearings that are in them. I'd rather just take them out, all the different backing ones. You know, you can get a bearing for everything now. They're cheap as shit. You can go the ceramic. I can buy a full set of ceramic bearings for one motor. Usually, the motors will buy the 14 times 25.4.6, or you know, any of the other the Picos, the OSs, everything that I've got, like all my motors that I buy. You can buy a set for $39 for ceramic front and back, which is cheap, which I think is still cheap. But you know, I have over 35 motors now, so I do change them a lot. I just when I wear them and use them, I change them out. Nova Rossi ones are a bit, how you going, trying to find them. Obviously they're always, you can't get them from this company, but you can find them online. Other than that, other motors, easy as pie. You can always get them. A lot of motors run the same bearing. All JS Racing, the Samurai Picos. Picos run a different one than the Samurai. The Picos, you know, they run a 14 by 25 by 8 times 6. Well, you can buy them online still for $20 for a bearing. But LRPs, the 30s, the 32s, they all run the same bearing. They all run the 14 times 25.4 times 6. Everything runs that. Like most of my buggy engines, all of them run that same 14 by 25.4 times 6. All Reds motors, Go motors, GRP motors, OS Speed motors, LRPs, Ninjas, Samurais, the JS Racing, Alphas, all of them run the same bearing size. The back bearing is all the same size. So that's why I buy in bulk, and I just go, right, there's 10 motors there, I can change the front bearing, you know. I'd rather it be a problem with Maccabi than a problem with a bearing, because the bearing will just drive you nuts. You think you got the motor tuned, you think you got it running right, and then when it hold the tune, it sounds stupid, it sounds fluttery, and it just, you know, really annoy the shit out of you. So that's just my thoughts, just as where I am with it. I hope you like it. Give us a thumbs up maybe if you like. I don't really care actually. I don't really care. This is my shit. This is my new motor I'm doing. I got this offline at the moment. I bought 2 motors offline, $59 Australian, which is cheap as shit. It came up on eBay, so I grabbed it. It was this and a VZB. Where did I put the fucking thing? VZB. So there's another V-Spec. The old school one. Yeah. But this one, crank's all damaged. No good. Probably leave it. Use it for spares. Whatever. Paperweight. I really don't give a shit. For 59 bucks delivered, I got this. I stripped, see all the bearings in this thing. Dog shit. Look at that. Absolutely. How's your mama? Gone. Gone. Got ceramic front, ceramic back, which is nice. So it's the 21R, the VR Reedy. I cleaned it out. It's gone through the little bath, had a little bath time. It's nice and clean inside now. I've never had one of these motors before. I got it purely for this. I saw Nitro Todd with one. And I saw this come up and I went, oh, I've never seen this. And here it comes up and I'm going to get this. But look at this freaking carby. What a weirdo. Thank you, mother, for the chicken. Beautiful. Needs a bit of a clean, but clean the rest of it. The head came up all right. These things were dirty as they're gummed up. You couldn't move the crank. So I've just put it back in here. I've got to give it another polish. This thing was rusty as, like the bearings, but that's why I ordered new bearings. Put it in here, got a little shark fin there, weird little cut, little polish there. So and you get the buffer. It's got a little bit of it's got a silicon infill, so the timing on the opening gap is quite large for this thing. I'm pretty surprised with this opening is huge, you know. And the hole in the bottom, a bit of wear around here, but I think that's just from the shitty bearings. So must have I don't think I had a fail with the bearings, but they're on their way. So yeah, give it a bit more of a polish up. The head's weird on it. It's got this weird outside rope look, so it looks really weird. I don't know if you can see that, but head button, shim's got to take that out, give that a bit of a clean. Backing plate is the shiniest backing plate I've ever seen. Look at that. Shiny. That was from the inside. I don't know why it's so bloody shiny. Beautiful little indents there, the dimples, the power port. Nice little, I love the backing on it. And this is only a 3-port. That's nice. It needs to be all cleaned up. Head needs a good clean. I just pulled this apart and I just started cleaning it. I just cleaned mainly the crank, the crank box. I haven't had time at the moment, but lucky for me, with my job, I work outside and I own my own business, and it's pissing down with rain today, so I get the day off. Still got a bit of pinch, but I'm gonna have to re-pinch it. Still looks alright. no play, so that's good. Yeah, so I just thought I'd let you know. Like I said to everyone, you know, I think, you know, get the right tools. I do really believe to get these, you know, the Huddy bearing puller, and I have the Reds bearing puller for the different size. They're awesome. They're worth their weight in gold, honestly, because like I said, I do all these motors, and I do some motors for friends. I got a mate that buys motors with me, and we're always swapping and changing, and I pull apart his motors and give him a bit of a bath and clean up for him, and new bearings and everything. So yeah, the Huddy's good for the, and the Reds is great. So always use good tools. That's my main thing. That's what I'm trying to get at. And I think, you know, it's like anything in life. If you've got the right tools, you won't strip stuff. And I've stripped stuff. Like I've got motors here that I've stripped, and I can't, you know, for the life of me, I'm sitting there going, what am I going to do here? And I've tried drilling and stuff like that, and 9 times out of 10, throw it in the bin. It's paperweight. It's stuff. Because you just can't get it right. Won't seal properly. Always get an air gap. So, you know, you have a faulty, you know, screw that's in the backing plate. Usually is my worst fear, and which happens a lot, is the backing plate. You know, Hercules gets on the end of his tools and tightens the shit out of them, which they don't need to be. But, you know, usually that's what the worst thing is. People do that. They tighten them too much, thinking that, you know, that's what's going to seal it, and it's not. It's only a certain tightness you need to have, and you can't undo them. And obviously with the heads, the same thing. People wrenching on a freaking 2.5mm hex and just think they're going to Hercules it right down on the ground. You're stuffing it. You over tighten. It's called over tightening. It's that simple. You do it, you'll pay the consequence. It's only a little screw. So just to let you have a know, you know, have a bit of a thought there. Just each their own. You do it yourself, that's fine. But when you're doing it with other people's motors, it's very annoying and very costly. So anyway, you guys, hope you're having a good Christmas break. I'm just about to head on my Christmas break at the end of the week, and I thought I'd just say hello today and show you what I'm up to. Thanks guys, Merry Christmas.